Hi and welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for Netflix's original anime series, Blood of Zeus. A commoner living in ancient Greece, Heron discovers his true heritage as a son of Zeus and his purpose to save the world from a demonic army. So the creators of this series are kind of obsessed with the whole Greek mythology. One of their films that they wrote, I believe, was The Immortals, or directed. I know they were heavily involved in that, and it just seems like they love this era. And I know many are, I myself included, love the whole Greek mythology. I find it very interesting. And so when I saw the trailer for this, I was seriously hyped. The thing is, did it live up to my expectations? So let's get down in the comments below. Let me know, did you think this was as good as expected? I'm also going to do an ending spoiler review, so we'll talk about that. But for now, let's jump into the review.
What's your name?
Heron.
So there are 8 episodes, and they're kind of all over the place with timing wise, from 25 minutes to 40 minutes in that last episode. But I have to say, for me, the most outstanding thing, and can you guess what I'm going to say about this anime series, is the score. The score is epic. It was so fun to listen to. I chucked it up on my projector, listened it on the surround sound. If you have surround sound, I would definitely suggest turning up that surround sound. It is phenomenal. From the ranging of the epicness that sets the scene, kind of places you in the zone of Ben-Hur and Prince of Egypt combined, and then you add that mythology. That is all the feelings and the kind of the tones, the instruments that I use, that kind of sets the scene and drives the story forward. So when you are getting those epic battle scenes, and you get a lot of them in this, you are totally going to be immersed into that. Each individual episode starts differently as well, which I love. The kind of sets the scenes. You kind of know what you're going to get when that kind of the Blood of Zeus logo falls down onto your screen, and it's either bloody or shaky or bright, and you're like, oh, I know what's going to happen in this episode. I thoroughly enjoyed this, more so than I was expecting. I went in excited, but kind of going, I've seen some animations from Netflix recently that hasn't been great. I have to say, I loved the animation. I loved the action sequences, but I also really liked the fact that they grounded this story in human characteristics, in human emotions. So we have the godlike battle scenes, but then the story is about a woman scorned. And so we know, do not scorn a woman, scorn a god, and this is kind of what happens. The end of the world could be at stake. And then we have a father and son story, which is always very interesting. You know, we've seen the kind of the Herculean Zeus storylines before, and they're depicted very differently. And this one I thought was very interesting to see how you have that father-son nurture relationship, and we have a few of those around, not just between Zeus and his son Heron, but other places between a female Amazonian and another character. And then we have the team that kind of, you know, regroups or builds in this anime, kind of taking all the tropes of a journey, adventure, escapism to its full, kind of expecting what's going to happen. But for the most part, there are also parts where you won't expect the story to go the way it's going. When the story does exposition dumps, and there is some of that, it's for the most part during an action sequences, which is great. Because if you've ever watched any of my reviews, you'll know one of the things that I hate most is exposition dumps. You have to show, don't tell. And I like the way they did exposition dumps in this, but that was through the pushing of story going forward. The action scenes in this are very vibrant, but I should say it is definitely for 15 and up, because it's gory as hell. Each episode has dismembered bodies and arms flying about, and people being stabbed up through the face, or bodies being ripped in half, or monsters chowing down. You know, it is gory. It's an adult anime. I don't know if you can actually class it as an anime. As far as I'm aware, it's not a Japanese studio, but Netflix has labeled it as Netflix original anime. They're calling it that, so I guess we will just go, okay, it's an anime. But anime is actually, if it's created in Japan, I believe that's, if its origins are in Japan, then you can class it as an anime. So I know some people were like, this is not an anime. I'm going with what Netflix says. The cast in this, the voice cast in this is also excellent. You got Claudia Christine as Hera, Jason Amara as Zeus, Derek Phillips as Heron, Elias as Seraphim, I do like the fact that we get to see many of the gods portrayed, many of those kind of main characters that you're expecting to see. I like again that we get to see Zeus and his brother, Hera. Their relationship is obviously very strained. I like what they did with that storyline. I like the designs of the Titans. I thought they were very interesting. While watching this, my son and I were, because we don't actually know the names of the Titans, we were like, that's the guy with stabby sword arms, and that's the guy that looks like a Hydra, but it's not quite a Hydra. If you know the names of the Titans, let me know in the comments below. I'd like to ask you right now, who is your favorite god and who is your favorite Titan? I like Poseidon. I think he's my favorite. I also like the way this anime nods towards some of the others that we've had, like the original Clash of the Titans. It reminds me a little bit of Xena and Hercules. A little bit of everything is kind of thrust in here, but it's definitely doing its own thing. The adventure in this is very evident. It's very epic, but it's the combination of how they tell the story, the character arc building. I feel like I was totally on board with Zeus's son. That building of the character that doesn't really know who he is. He knows he is different, and we go on step by step. We see him and we will him to become the hero that he needs to be. And we see him have to go through all trials. And I love that about stories like this. You know, it's the trials, it's the building of that hero. You know they're gonna get there, but the trials is the fun part in between. So when you get that epic episode full of guts and glory and adventure, that last 40-minute episode, you've reached it, but you're so there with the character. Between the editing, the score, and the voice acting, which is phenomenal, that story that is kind of grounded in relationship, it furthers you, the audience, into going, yeah, I'm so on board for this. Definitely one that I suggest you watch. Even if you're not a massive fan of anime, if animation and story is a thing that you can handle, I would suggest putting this one. I'm going to give this an A+. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I've even thought about, well, could they have put more episodes in this? And I don't think I would want any more episodes, because then there's dragging that story out. I think the pacing is just right. It's definitely a score I kind of want to buy. One of the things I love to do is collect scores and just listen to them. They kind of help me, especially in my edits when I edit reviews like this. And so this is one that I'm going to have in my catalog. It's that good. Let me know in the comments below, which is your favorite god? Which is your favorite god-like film, like Immortals, Clash of the Titans? Do let me know in the comments below, and listen out for our ending spoiler review. Thanks so much for watching this, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.